like how you think, yeah.
Right away, closing the gap on Trainer, because Trainer's known, kickboxing background, and, Beaton just saying, let me get you where I want to get you.
I'm curious about the records in the cage there, because the ABC page is showing them both as 0-0. Wonder if he's counting some amateur fights in there. A little back and forth right now, nothing exciting as these guys get their legs wet in the first time they've been in a professional cage.
So you see, two pretty green
so this
people.
Is an amateur
this
fight.
is an amateur fight, yeah. And you're seeing Beaton making his, debut, first time ever. So, and getting a chance to talk to David Gomez, saying, I want to get some of my guys in here, get some experience, but really focused on the martial arts aspect. So, but he said this guy just came in. He was so tall, makes weight so easy at 145, and he loves to fight.
Well, normally when I look at these guys, I got to try to keep their shorts and their corner tape separate so I know who's who on these new fighters. Mr. Beaton's been kind enough to tattoo his name across
just for
his
you.
back for
He did
me.
it yesterday for you. He
Absolutely.
heard that's what you like.
Well, I don't know about like it, but it helps. As I get older, it's harder to see.
I'd like to see, some separation and, see what these guys can bring to the table. Knowing that Ryan Trainer's a little bit, a kickboxing background, and Beaton coming from a jiu-jitsu gym, it'd be nice to see a little bit of that, how they handle themselves standing.
What I'd like to see at this point is referee Brandon Gallo separate these two so they can start punching each other again.
And we'll go quick. I mean, these are going to be 3-minute rounds, so it's going to go fast.
Put your head down.
Those knees coming up from both of them, not really doing much in the way of damage. And it shows everybody that they're busy, but as far as effective striking goes, they're really not putting a bunch on it, and that's because they don't want to get dumped backwards if they commit to it.
I mean, both really tall for this weight class. I mean, you're seeing the guys at 6 feet tall at 145.
Oh, no kidding. That was 6th grade for me.
I thought you were going to say 6 years old for you.
Call my mom and tell her you're picking on me. 10 seconds. This is going to be a real tough round to score for the judges.
It's almost, one of those you want to call a draw, but I just think Beaton might have had a little bit more control there. Having up against the cage, I think really essentially what has to happen coming out in this second round, if I'm out of the corner of Trainer, I'm saying you got to get out there and stick that jab in his face, because Beaton just basically rushed him, right? Just pushed him up against the cage. Just make sure that he can't do that. Obviously very, very young, very new, very green. You can get away with that. So the Trainer goes out there, actually puts his jab out, kind of prevents that, circles a little bit, and we'll see what difference that could make.
And Trainer's body language, saying a ton right now. Sitting flat, leaning against the side of the cage. Heavy breaths in and out through his open mouth. Meanwhile, Trainer, calm, cool, and collected.
Well, I mean, that's not a round where you're going to lose, a lot of wind. It wasn't enough.
Beaton was sitting on his back, leaning against the cage.
Well, I mean, this is his first time. The nerves, the amount of adrenaline and nerves that are going to get you your first time. There, and this is where Trainer's got to just throw that jab. You can't wait too long. You just got to throw, keep your space.
Double unders again against the side of the cage, this time on his side of the cage. Going to get some very clear and high quality corner talk from his corner, Todd Ali.
And just set slightly back, we have Angelo and Brandon standing by. So, I mean, you got the ultimate ground corner there as well.
This time landing a little heavier with the leather on that exchange.
And essentially Beaton just smothering a lot of his shots. That's the problem. Fighters have a tendency they go chest to chest, and where you got to go head to chest if you want to get a lot of those shots off.